So when Bhat loads, it reads step definitions from feature context and Mink context because of the bhat.yml setup. This is a really powerful idea. Instead of having one giant context class, we can break things down into as many small, organized pieces as we want. We might have one context just for dealing with adding users to the database, and another for talking to our API. If you look at our feature context, we already have two very different ideas mixed together. Some functions interact with the terminal, and others help deal with a web page. This is begging to be split into two classes. Let's copy feature context and create a new file called command line process context. Update the class name and get rid of anything in here that doesn't help to do things with the command line. In feature context, just do the opposite. Remove all of the things that have nothing to do with working on a website. Delete these functions and our before and after scenario hooks. That's a lot clearer. Of course, to keep our test passing, we need to tell Bhat about our new context. If we run Bhat now, it should run all of our features, the LS and the web stuff. It does, and it works. Ignore the undefined functions. Those are from the product admin feature. We haven't finished that yet. But we can go further. In bhat.yml, check out the suites key. Currently we have one suite called default, but you could have many. But wait, what's a suite? It's a combination of a set of feature files and the context that should be used for them. Think about it. The ls.feature is the only feature that needs the command line process context, and every other feature only needs feature context and Mink context. This is the perfect use case for a second suite that I'm going to call commands. In this case, only add the command line process context. Remove that from the default suite. When you execute Bhat, it uses the default suite unless you tell it which one to use with the -- suite option. Try it with -- suite equals commands, and then run ls.feature. Or you can use the -dl option to see only the definition lists associated with the context in that suite. Without -- suite, we see definitions for the default suite. And yes, we can go even further by telling each suite which features belong to them. Under the features directory, create two new directories called commands and web. Let's organize. Move ls.feature into commands and the other four features into web. Now add a paths key to the default suite and set it to %paths.base%/features/web. %paths.base% is a shortcut to the root of the project. For the command suite, do the same thing to point to commands. Now if you run the default suite, Bhat knows to only execute the features in the web directory. With -- suite equals commands, it only runs the features inside of commands. So if you have two very different things that are being tested, consider separating them into different suites entirely. But at the very least, use multiple contexts to keep organized and stay sane.